Welcome back. So I'm going to give you another update on today's stream. In Word, of all things, what a glorious place the future has turned out to be. So this is a storyline. It took me about an hour to write this. I was thinking about a lot of different ideas, but let's read through it between us. Random leader number 1 is snarling and ready to spit. Random leader number 2 is red in the face and holding a mug too tightly. Everyone else in the room is pretending nothing is happening. Random leader 1 wants to decorate the town hall's village barn, at least appropriate, with a large laurel wreath to welcome the gods this winter solstice. Random leader number 2 regards the laurel wreath as a symbol of insurrection. Wreaths were a symbol of Navis Mar rebels who killed her brother. It seems you must resolve this. Essential quote. The Navis Mar rebels were no laughing matter. I fought against them too. But a wreath isn't a rebel. It's a bunch of dead twigs nailed to a door. Option number 1, decorate the town hall, village hall barn with a wreath. Or number 2, no wreaths in the public building. So I think the thing I'm most interested in is whether people think this is an interesting sort of storyline, or whether that feels a little bit too. So the context would be this just randomly appears on screen. There's no more context explaining it. There's just there's a presumed meeting to be happening. We'll make sure this always happens in the middle of the winter event. We'll sort out how that happens exactly. But yeah, I also so there's a couple of things I worried about with this. First one, I'm not sure about the use of the word Navismar. That's a good English word, but the silent K will probably throw off a lot of people, even people who are sort of native English speakers, to be honest. In terms of the themes and the settings, so we've got our burst marriages test, so I've got our long passage of time sort of ideas going on here. Our seneschal is cynical and jokey, even in the face of this sort of death. So I fought them too means that he can make a joke about them. I think that makes this sort of downplaying of the events a bit of a acceptable. Also, I like the context juxtaposition of rebel and bunch of dead twigs. That gets pretty, you stick those two in the same sentence, people are going to come to a bit of a conclusion about what happened to those rebels, which is good. That's what I'm looking for. This, I mean, I'm showing, not telling. Maybe this is a little bit too vague. Maybe they should be stood still and silent. I'm not sure, because the point is that this is to create as much tension as possible. But the point is, these are two powerful leaders who are arguing. They're not, this is not a couple of schoolgirls having an argument about something. This is a very serious incident. And then we've got some payoffs in terms of in-game mechanics. So you get a small increase in divine protection. Family number 2 loses 40 happiness. This is worth 4/5 of a resource or a consumable resource. This should probably be worth maybe half that. So maybe I'll give you half a resource worth of divine protection. And then this is just a sort of token. In fact, we could almost get rid of this and it'd still be fine. And then randomly looks fit to punch you. I think I changed this to looks you straight in the eye but doesn't do anything. So that's the plot line. What have I done? I've got it into game. I have inherited, using the sort of object-oriented logic to save me having to reproduce so much stuff, the rules for the existing event template child. So that uses the create and destroy events from the event template. The benefit of that is it's always the same. And if at any point I need to change the way the create statement is structured, I can do that. The other thing it means is that this create statement with its group of 6 variables, as long as I'm using these 6 variables in all my different events, then when I come to sign a save down a whole bunch of events, they can be in any format. As long as these have these variables, I can save them as a list. And resources is a very flexible tool that means I could specify multiple variables within that, potentially, including like different variable names. Another thing I haven't got working is the generating random leader names. So that's one for next week. But when I now play it in game, so in game, I can press my F5 button. It will spawn this event, the event I just described. It's still got random leader 1 and 2 labeled in here. And this is still a mess, so I need to sort that out at some point. Decorate the town hall. No reads on public buildings. I also haven't got the effects working at the moment either, or the hover events, but we've got it working. We've got a new event. I've written it, which is the sort of thing I was hoping to get into a bit later on in the project, but it came up. So I've written another event. I've got it working in game. It's like, and did a few other minor things. That was a good 2 hour streaming. I'm happy with the progress today. So thanks anyone who's watching, and I'll see you soon.